Armin and Sarah had been married for 10 years, living in the bustling city of Lahore. Their life was comfortable. A cozy home, 2 lovely children, and enough financial stability to live without worrying about the basics. Yet, as the years passed, Sarah became increasingly anxious. The world seemed to move faster, and with it, the expectations around her grew heavier. Sarah had always been an ambitious woman. Before marriage, she had dreams of becoming a writer, but as life unfolded, she became a full-time mother, a homemaker, and the manager of a million little details. Somewhere along the way, her own dreams began to fade, replaced by the constant hustle of responsibilities. One evening, after putting the children to bed, Sarah sat on the edge of their bed, scrolling through social media. She saw friends traveling abroad, some opening businesses, others boasting of weight loss journeys or social media fame. Her heart felt heavier with every swipe. Closing her phone, she stared blankly at the wall. Armin, who was reading a book nearby, noticed a sadness on her face. "What's wrong, Sarah?" he asked, placing the book aside. She hesitated but finally spoke. "I feel small, Armin, like I've done nothing with my life. I see all these people around me growing, achieving, becoming something, and me? I'm just stuck in the same routine. Cooking, cleaning, managing the house. I wanted to be a writer, but now I don't even have the energy to dream." Armin leaned forward, taking her hand gently. "Sarah, you are not small. You've built a home, raised 2 beautiful children, and kept this family together. That's no small thing." Tears filled Sarah's eyes. "But I wanted to be more. I wanted to make a name for myself, to feel proud when I looked in the mirror. Now, I only see someone tired, worn out, and unimportant." Armin stood up, walked to the wardrobe, and pulled out something wrapped in cloth. He placed it in her lap. "What's this?" she asked. "Open it." Armin replied with a gentle smile. Sarah unwrapped it and found an old mirror, slightly worn but still intact. "This," Armin said, "belonged to my grandmother. Do you know what she told me about it before she passed away?" Sarah shook her head. She said, "This mirror has seen the faces of many women in our family. Some saw themselves growing old and useless. Some saw themselves glowing with wisdom. The mirror never changed, but the way they looked at themselves did." Sarah looked into the mirror. Her face was tired. "Yes, but there was something else too. Strength, love, experience." Armin continued. "Sarah, we live in a world that teaches people to measure success by money, fame, or the number of likes on a photo. But the real measurement of success is peace. Peace in your heart, peace in your home, peace when you close your eyes at night." Sarah blinked, surprised by his words. "You think you haven't achieved anything?" Armin asked. "You have kept our family strong through storms. You've raised 2 children with good hearts. You've made me a better man, taught me patience, taught me to be kind. You've sacrificed your dreams for our comfort. But that doesn't mean your dreams have died." Sarah's voice trembled. "But I don't even know where to begin anymore." Armin smiled. "Begin small. Begin now. Every day, write for 10 minutes. No pressure to be famous. No pressure to publish. Write for your heart. You don't need the world's approval. Sarah, you need your own approval." Sarah felt something lift from her chest. "But do you think it's too late?" Armin chuckled softly. "My dear wife, you are in your 30s, not 70s. Even if you were, it's never too late to live a meaningful life. People spend lifetimes chasing things that don't bring happiness. You already have love, family, and a good home. Now it's time you give some love to yourself." Sarah smiled, feeling tears fall freely. "How did you become so wise, Armin?" "Years of watching you," he replied warmly. "You taught me how to care, how to be patient. I'm just returning a lesson." That night, Sarah dusted off her old notebooks. She wrote a short story before going to bed. It wasn't perfect, but it made her heart feel alive again. Days turned into weeks. Sarah began writing every evening after putting the children to bed. Slowly, she rediscovered her forgotten dreams. She wrote short poems, small stories, and even started sharing them anonymously on a blog. Her confidence grew. She laughed more, worried less, and began appreciating the small joys of life again. One evening, after dinner, Sarah sat next to Armin on the couch. "You were right, Armin," she said. "The mirror hasn't changed, but I have." Armin smiled. "I didn't do much, Sarah. You had everything inside you. I only reminded you to see yourself clearly." Months later, Sarah's blog began gaining readers. She wasn't famous, nor did she care to be. She wrote because it made her heart full. She lived every day with purpose, both as a mother, a wife, and now, once again, as a woman with her own identity. And every time she looked in the mirror, she no longer saw just a tired woman. She saw a fighter, a creator, a nurturer, someone who had conquered the storms of life with grace. The house remained noisy with children's laughter. The bills still needed to be paid, and responsibilities didn't vanish. But inside, Sarah carried peace. The kind of peace that comes when you learn to value yourself beyond what the world says, beyond comparisons, and beyond fleeting trends. And Armin? He watched with pride as his wife blossomed, knowing that sometimes the greatest gift you can give your loved one is not material wealth, but words that heal, encourage, and guide. The mirror stayed in their bedroom, a quiet reminder. Life doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be true. And they lived on, not in constant chase of the world, but in quiet victory of their own hearts.